Hello everyone, my name's Lucy and I'm coming to you as a video response to Lisa and Peggy Papez's 21 questions. So let's start because 21 questions will take a bit of time, I think. First off, what is the deck that they have to pry out of your cold dead hands? Well, this one was a really hard question because I don't have any particular deck that I favor more than others. I have a whole pile of decks that I'd like to be buried with, but not so much one particular deck. But that being said, I thought, well, I have to show something. So I'm going to show two decks that I'm fond of at the moment. And one is the Gaian Tarot, but it's the out of print Llewellyn version. It is in mass market at the moment by Schiffer Publishing, has published it, but on bigger, glossier cardstock. So when I was able to find the vintage version, I was very happy. It's smaller, the cardstock is that nice 90s feel. It's not glossy at all. Well, it's got a sheen, but it's not that big glossy cardstock that's on Schiffer's Schiffer's cardstock. So this one, why do I like this one? This one represents my home. It has all the elements of where I live by the sea. It has all the elements of my life through the 90s, which was a very fast-paced, happy time. And it just brings back loving memories of being by the sea. There's the creator, Joanna Powell Colbert. Now, I have shown this deck before, so I won't go through too many of the cards, even though they're lovely. We have a lot of osprey, not eagles, but osprey by the sea ospreys. And the other one that's I'm quite fond of at the moment is the Baroque Tarot by La Mucci Designs. It was published last year. It's a indie deck, and I'm sure you can still get this because it's only been out for a year. But in that year, I have thoroughly enjoyed it. It has, you can see I've worn it down a bit on the edges because I've been using this a lot. It has that lovely cardstock that I like. See that? It's matte finish and it's upside down. It's upside, and it just represents my time in Europe. So I like to, particularly in northern Italy, during the Baroque painters that were popular in northern Italy at the time. Don't ask me what the Baroque period went from, I think, the 15th to the mid 17th century, but I could be wrong. And it started by the Catholic Church in northern Italy, and it infiltrated throughout Italy, across to Spain, and then up to Holland or the Netherlands, and then across to England. So it took a while to get around, but it became very popular during that period. So I like the colors, I like the gilding, I like the cardstock, and it gives me great readings. So this deck I actually used on other people. Some people think it's dark, but that's just the period, the Baroque period. If you look at all the artists like Michelangelo and Leonardo, and I don't know, was he in the Baroque period? But I think Michelangelo was on the Sistine Chapel, and so beautiful deck, beautiful art, great reader. For me, it's a great reader. I'm able to tap into do ancestor work with this deck. All right, so that's one of my favorites at the moment that I would never give up ever, I don't think, but you can never say never, can you? All right, what's my guilty pleasure deck? This one, this is the, I have lots of guilty pleasure decks, but this one, I don't use it. I should sell it, but I can't let go of it. So I feel really guilty that there is someone out there that really wants the slow Hollar. Doesn't come in a box. It'd have to be one of the most expensive decks on the market at the moment. And I love the guidebook. When I did use it, I did love the guidebook, but I don't want to ruin it, so I don't use it very often. You can see it's still very new. I treat it with kid gloves. So this is the slow Hollar, everyone. Why it's sought after beats me. If you've got one tarot deck, you really don't need any more. But it's a collector's item. So I just feel guilty owning it because I don't use it. And I have other decks I enjoy more if I were to use it. And I know there are people out there that really, really want it. You can tell I haven't used it. The cards are practically brand new. It's matte. The cardstock's very similar to the Gaian Tarot. And so that's my guilty pleasure. My guilty pleasure deck. So one day I might let it go. So it came with a tarot cloth, which it wraps up in. All right, so the next question. What's the deck you wish exists? Oh, I got stuck on this one too. I don't collect fan decks, fan-based decks, like TV shows or movies or Lord of the Rings. I don't collect, or Labyrinth. I don't collect those sort of decks. So I don't want one of those. And I've got too many animal decks, so I don't want any more of those. I've got lots of fairy decks, so I don't need any more of those. And I have lots of collage decks, so I don't need any more of those. And I have lots of vintage decks, and I'm not collecting any more of those. I've got too many. I need to let go of some. And so I can't answer this question. Next question, number 4. What deck would you give a new reader? Well, I've given the Lightseers. I won't open it. Everyone's seen the Lightseers. This is the mass market version. I do have the indie version, which I prefer, but the mass market one, I gift these to anyone that who's starting out in tarot, and I use it as a teaching tool as well. So that's that question. Next question. Question number 5. What deck do you want to get along with, but it just doesn't click? Well, I have the Muse Tarot. I have 1,254 out of 2,000. So this came with the I got it at the same time I got the Lightseers Indie. So this is the indie version of the Muse, and it's a lovely deck too. And the guidebook's excellent, but it's not here. I don't know where I put it. Oh, it's separate. The guidebook's excellent. I love Chris Ann's guidebooks. She writes well, and but I just don't use this. I don't feel inspired to use this. So I did get it out last month. I got it out to work with, and I only worked with it for a month. Inspiration is wands, fire. Emotions is cups, water. Voices is swords, air. Material is pentacles and earth. So yeah, I do struggle with this deck, even though I have, that's a lovely, that'd have to be the best high printed priestess around, I think. Isn't she gorgeous? But I do struggle with this deck. I just don't click. But I have lots of other collage decks that I've enjoyed, so maybe I should get it. I think I don't like the kings being sideways. I don't like that. That annoys me. So maybe it's that. The gilding's lovely. That lovely salmon pink. This cardstock's nice. It's that indie cardstock Chris Ann used for the Lightseers. So that's the Muse Tarot. Next question. We'll just put this one on one side, just out of the way. Next question. What deck do you only keep for the art? Yes, this is another one that doesn't click with me at the moment. I'm hoping it will. I've got the big grimoire, the art book. I haven't used this. This is the card that sold the deck to me when I first saw it on Kickstarter. When I saw the Fool, I thought, that gave me goosebumps. The little person looking out in the big world as the doors open. I thought that was pretty magic. I might actually use that this month for my monthly medicine with Dawn Michelle. This might be a good one. Yeah, so this is the Bloodmoon by, who's it by? I should know. I had lots of emails with it because it took nearly 3 years. Sam Gray. Took nearly 3 years to get this into a state that she could sell. And the suits are named strange. So we have honey for pentacles, I think, because I haven't used it. Skins for wands. Honey. Yeah, it's like, the art is lovely. It is lovely. It's very out of this world type art. Skins. I don't know where the honey. I seem to get all the honey. I think dream Times is Swords, and Songs is Water. So it's just a matter of getting the great big art book out and going through this deck and using it with a vengeance, but I just haven't done it. So that's my arty deck. I thought that was a good one to show. And next one, what deck did you buy because everyone else did? Half my collection. I have to, I'm very tactile, I have to feel it. So if someone goes on about a deck and you see it on YouTube and you know it's coming out again and you think, oh, I'll just get that and have a look. And I did with the Solara Occulto by, I can't remember the artist, but she's coming out. This is a indie deck, but she is thinking of doing another, this is the second edition, so she is thinking of doing a third. So this is Solara Occulto, Occult something. Anyway, it's a lovely deck. It's a lovely deck. And very alternative type artwork. And it's much sought after as well at the moment. But you just wait, she'll do another edition. I'm not sure if she's changing anything. But I'm sure if you go on her Instagram, you'll find out. That's probably what sold the deck, the Three of Cups. I thought that was very nice. And it's Rider-Waite based, and I prefer a Rider-Waite based deck, even though I have Thoth and I have Tarot de Marseille and I have Oracles, but I prefer to read with Rider-Waite, mainly because they tell a story. I can make a story out of the system. So Solara, I'll put it down. I'll put it down in the comments. I did edge it in this sort of bronzy color, which is now wearing a bit. But it's a pretty deck. I must use it more too. So I'll put that one away. I found all these wraps at a Buddhist shop, Tibetan Buddhist shop. All right, next question. What, look, I could have got, for question 7, I could have got half a dozen decks out. I mean, I could have shown you Dark Mansions. I bought that because everybody in the community was going on about it. So I had to buy it. I had to buy it and have a look. It's got black edging. And it's a nice deck. Do I use it? No. Will I get rid of it? No. Because you never know. You never know. I might use something quirky like, need something quirky like this to use. So that's the Dark Mansions. Look at the devil. It makes me laugh whenever I get it out. So that's the Dark Mansions. All right, so moving on. What deck is over your head or just baffles you? Well, I must put that there. I have a few that baffle me, but I'll use this one as an example. This one, a friend of mine has this one and loves it. And this is the spread. It's a bit dusty because I wrapped the deck up in it. This is called the Goetia. Goetia. It's by Lo Scarabeo. It's a deck by Fabio Listrani. And it's so big it won't fit under my camera here. It opens up like this. And out pops a very big guidebook. And huge cards. You would have to use this as an oracle. They're glossy, they're huge, and they're complex. Oh, and at the bottom are 6 coins in the box. So this is the special edition of the Goetia. I can't pronounce it. Goetia. It's the Tarot in Darkness. Tarot in Darkness. I'm just going to say that. Tarot in Darkness by Lo Scarabeo. It's edged in black. And this is the deluxe edition with the coins and the spread cloth. And have I studied this? No, it's a bit dark for me. I should give it up too. This is another deck that I keep talking about selling. I haven't, because it's all about the Lord of Darkness. Let's have a look. See, I haven't even looked at the guidebook much. And when I started to see shadows and demons and so no, I haven't studied that. I can honestly say this deck is over my head because it's a bit spooky. So I'll just put that to one side. Next one. It's not that it baffles me, it's just I haven't spent time trying to learn it. What deck surprised you? This one. This is the Tarot, the Cosmic Seed by Leilania Simmons, and she's bringing out an oracle at the moment. I can't wait. I love this deck. This one also could have gone on question 1. What deck would you have to pry out of me? I'm in love with this deck. I love the colours. I love it's that lovely cardstock. It's diverse. It's pretty. It has look at that High Priestess with the pomegranate and the owl. Wisdom in a card, and the snakes. There's a lot in each card to learn. The guidebook is good. It's not very big, but it's enough. It gives the meaning of the cards. It's enough for me. Look at that box. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? Look at the back. The moon. Yeah, no, a lot of thought went into each of these cards. And I just thoroughly enjoy it. I love reading with it. I used it last month. Or was it this month? I used it a lot during autumn. This is the card I pulled out from my autumn deck. And so I could say you'd have to pry this one out of my cold dead hands as well. and it's not going anywhere. Isn't that a lovely death card? Yep, nice deck, nice deck. Right away based, of course, but nice deck. Oh, and the gilding's nice too. It's got that nice blue. Hope it stands up. You can see I've been using this because it's starting to wear. So that's the Tarot of the Cosmic Seed. Can't wait for the Oracle to arrive. It takes so long to get here from America. All right. Next one. Ooh, ooh. So number 10, what deck doesn't really work for you, but you keep it because it's a collectible? I have a few of those, but I'll use this one as my example. This is the Nameless one by Alex. I should know I have a lot of emails from this lady too. Alexandria Huntington. She did Children of Litha. She's done the Nameless one, and I think there's another deck, and she's currently doing another Litha type deck. I think she wanted to do one for each of the seasons, I think. I'm not sure. So this came out in 2020. It was another Kickstarter that took a long time to get done because the art is so detailed, and the sigils. I could actually have put this one in what's over your head. The sigils are complicated, and I haven't had time to study. It came with a great big grimoire book, which is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous, and the cards are gorgeous, but it doesn't have, that's right, it doesn't have what it represents. You've got to actually know your sigil and your images. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is the 8th of Pentacles. So mastering the art of whatever it is you're doing. This is the 10, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, 9 with the fruit, the grapes. Yeah, so you need to know all your symbols. So what I should do with this is use it as an oracle and pull a card each day and study the deck, because it is gorgeous. But again, the cards are big. You can't shuffle them. But I keep it because so much work has gone into it, and you never know, it could become a collectible one day. He's a king of something. And I'd say the Queen of Wands, would it be? Anyway, I haven't studied this deck. Guilty. But I'd like to. And it's just a beautiful deck. And it'd be nice to know what the meanings are. All right, so that's number 10. What deck is your favorite Gilded deck? This is another deck that you have to pry out of my cold dead hands. I think this is one of the most beautiful decks around at the moment. And she's just completed her third creation, which is another bee deck, but the beekeepers, which I don't have. I should get. So this is the Tarot Journey of the Sacred Bee. So this one is sort of soft base. It's not so much tarot based. And I can't find the creator's name on this. Isn't that terrible? Because I get a lot of her emails as well. And you're all probably yelling, it's such and such. I'll put it down. I'll put it, oh, that's it, Kelly Burton. Kelly Burton. I've got her Oracle, and that's another deck that has beautiful gilding. It's purple. So teal and purple are my favorite colors, and I think the new one has yellow. So isn't that gorgeous? It's a teal green. It's a yummy deck. This one's a yummy deck. And it's just stunning. Absolutely stunning. My favorite suit in this deck, or my favorite suit of all, is the cups, because it has the teal green and purple base. And see, to change, it has the Thoth associations. Not all, but most of them will have the Thoth keywords. Look at that, Princess of Swords. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Princess of Discs. And Princess of Cups. Look at her. Isn't she gorgeous? Gorgeous deck. King of Swords. Look at that. Oh, such determination. Coal power. And the Hierophant is Buddha. So of course I like this deck. So that's the Journey of the Sacred Bee, and I haven't used it this year, but it's one that will always stay on my shelf. So next one is which deck do you love but hate the cardstock? Ah, yes, I have two. I have the True Black, because I hate the rose petal cardstock. The deck has warped. Look at that. And you just can't shuffle this. It just comes into lumps because of the rose petal cardstock. Gorgeous deck, gorgeous artwork. And I am getting the next one he's doing. It's the light version. And it was on Kickstarter earlier this year or late last year. So that's the Tarot Black. That's the Tarot Black. By, oh, I should tell you by. So he releases so many decks at a time because they're all handmade. Do wish they'd put their names. And oh God, oh dear. Yeah, this one came out in 2018. So looking forward to the new deck, but I believe it's on this similar cardstock, so I'm not looking forward to that. So the other one is the Tarot of Antlers, or Tarot of Branches, or Tarot of I just call it my French deck. And it comes with a bag, and you can get it on Amazon. That's where I got mine. Even in Australia, you can get it on the Australian AU, Amazon AU. And it's a lovely deck. But the cardstock's like cardboard. Yeah. Hard to shuffle, hard to and it's not the normal tarot size, but it's just hard to shuffle. And of course the guidebook's in French, but that's okay. I can use Google Translate and get the meaning of the card. See, I can't even do it with my arthritic thumb. Can't do it. So it's just even doing overhand, because the cards are big, it comes out in clumps. So I wish they'd change the cardstock. But apart from that, the deck's lovely, and the guidebook is really good too, because it gives a page for each of the cards, definition for each of the cards. So next, so I'll just move that out of the way. What deck gives you the willies? I could use this for two. I would never use this to read for others, because even though it has a couple of cards that are lovely, the Empress is lovely. This is by Ian Miller, who also was the illustrator on some of the Lord of the Rings scenes in the movie. And you can see why, because there are orcs and vampires and goblins and ghouls and creepy castles and creepy fish and creepy figures. And then you get the lovers, which is quite lovely. But then look at the Chariot. The Chariot is insects, with a knight riding on those insects. And Justice looks cruel and mean. And there's two Justice cards. Look at the Emperor. There's two Emperors as well. The Hierophant, he looks a bit cruel as well. He's drowning his supplicants. Strength, two Judgments, the World. It's not a world that I want to be part of. The Moon, Sun, Star. Look at the Priestess. She looks half dead. And there were two Fool cards as well. He did a few additional cards. The Dark Lord. It's Death. Hangman. And then you get Strength, the Dragon, and then the Ace of Chaos, which is bugs, Two of Chaos, Three of Chaos, Four. Let's find some of the others. There's the King of Chaos. I think this was this is Cups, dead fish. Cups of dead fish, or creepy fish. And then you get a coloured dragon with creepy fish. Yeah, so this, I would never read this deck for me or anyone. Oh, that's right, the ones were citadels, which you would never enter. You don't know if you'd ever come out alive. Come out a zombie maybe, but not alive. Yeah, not spooky deck, spooky deck. Or was the trees the ones? The trees might be the ones. One of them's pentacles and one's wands. And there was no book with this, and I regret not getting the art book, which explained why he chose those particular images. So, and I don't think I'll ever have an opportunity to get the art book, but I keep it. I think there was 900 made of the Grim Tarot by Ian Miller. Spooky deck. Next one. What's your favourite deck for shadow work? Well, I was pleasantly surprised. Outgrow Yourself. I used this last year in monthly medicine with Don Michelle, and it's Thoffy based, but it also has little sayings at the top which are oracle based, and I found this one, it actually, as the saying goes, kicked my bottom or kicked my A. And see the Thoth words at the bottom, and I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for the monthly medicine questions as well. So yes, this one was really good for shadow work because it's blunt to the point of almost being rude. Almost, but in a pretty way. Yeah, I like this deck. This one's not going anywhere. And it's the closest I get to playing with soft tarot. This and my bees. And next one. What deck do you love in theory but not in practice? Oh, maybe that was this one. Maybe I picked them. I could say this one. I could say the nameless one. But I will say I love the Stolen Child Tarot. What did I put here? Yeah, the Stolen Child Tarot. I love this deck. I love the cardstock on this deck. It's that linen. Between the linen cardstock and this matte finish of the Baroque are my favourite cardstocks. This one's gorgeous too. The artwork on this is lovely. But I wish she had a better guidebook. She just had a PDF with a paragraph for each of the cards that didn't really explain why she chose. You see, this is Five of Oak. It doesn't explain why she put a bear on top of the stolen child. But it's a gorgeous deck, and I did use it for a while, but I don't use it in practice anymore. Look at the fool. Isn't he sweet? The new beginnings. And you have to remember why she chose Zephyrs. 10 of Zephyrs. For, I think, swords So because I don't use it very often, I forget. And there's no hard copy guidebook. So there, the flame would be wands. Oak would be, I think oak is pentacles. Zephyrs is swords. So yeah, it's not, it doesn't follow a Rider-Waite system as much as others. So for instance, that's the eight of wands. So could count up how many snakes are in it, but why snakes? Eight of oak, eight of brine. Brine is water. So that one, you can see that the stolen child's walking away, but no, it's not an easy reader, so I don't use it very often, but I still love it, and it's not going anywhere. It's still my Stolen Child by Monica Knighton. So next question. What deck would you never read for anyone else? Oh, I use all my decks except for that spooky one, Grim Tarot. I'd never use this one for anybody else. I wouldn't use it for me either, so that answers that question. What did I put down? I wrote down things. What deck would you never read for someone else? Well, I did put out the Yokai Yoshi Tarot. I love this deck. This one has lovely gilding as well, and it's got that nice cardstock that I like. Hear that? I do like that cardstock. So Lisa might be able to tell you what the cardstock is, but it is nice. And so I wouldn't use this on anyone else because they might get spooked out by it. I used this during Halloween, October. This is my October month deck for Halloween, even though it's not autumn. Here in Australia it's spring, but this deck comes out in October. And it's the Ghosts and Goblins deck, Japanese style. It's a fun deck. It's a fun deck. And it's lovely to shuffle. It's lovely to handle. It's that nice size. There's the backs. The guidebooks are not very detailed, but apart from that, it's basically a Rider-Waite. And the other one, what deck would you never use for yourself? This is another one that I haven't studied. It's the Journey of the Thoth Journey, the Oracle of Change, and it's the Kickstarter, second edition Kickstarter is just completed, and I think you can pre-order this deck now. Joanna Kate Grant and Ailu. It's from a European creator. It's Thoth based, of course. It has a nice chunky guidebook, and it's just a very pretty Thoth deck, a modern interpretation of Thoth. Nice size cards, nice to handle, nice cardstock. I'm a bit of a cardstock snob, as you've probably guessed. And yeah, nice deck. But I haven't used it, and I should study it. It's another study deck that I need to use. Oh, don't know if it came with that band. I think I put that on there. Keep it all in place. So that's what I haven't used yet. One day. What deck could you not bring yourself to buy? What deck could I not bring myself to buy? Oh, at the moment it's the Ritual Tarot. I think it's too expensive, and I don't like the minors in it, so that one's out. I'm not buying it. So I know was it fear of missing out? FOMO? No FOMO for me. That deck's not for me. What's your favorite Pip deck? Ah, yes. Oops, got decks everywhere. I'm doing this challenge because I've had these decks out for 2 weeks and I need to clear the table. My dining table's full of tarot decks at the moment. Some I'm selling, some are sitting to be opened, and the rest were waiting for me to do this tag. So looking forward to moving on. So this is the Tarocchi Orientali or Oriental Tarot. It was first published in 1845, and the sheets still exist. I don't think there's any tarot from that period, but the tarot sheets were used by Giordano Berti. Mr. Berti published this deck back in 2016. Got here, oh, in 1845, Claudio Fordraz actually created it. So Mr. Berti used the tarot sheets to create one of the most beautiful Italian decks that are around. I have quite a few Italian decks because I prefer them to TDM because they're pretty. I like Italian decks. So this one I use. I love the pips in this one. I love the chords. And I love the majors. King of Coins, the Moon, the Tower. So you can see I use this. Things are upside down. The cardstock's that nice cardboardy cardstock you find in Italian decks. And I have quite a few Giordano Berti decks. I quite like his interpretation of the ancient Italian decks. And the King of Wands. Aren't they gorgeous pips? Beautiful pips. Look at the Queen of Cups. There's my colours, teal, green and purple. So we're back upside down. So I could play with this one all day. I like it. And I'm sure you can still pick up all of Giordano's decks on Etsy. So I'll put there's his name there, Giordano Berti. And you can get a deluxe version that comes in a box that looks like a book, or you can get it just in the box that I've got, which is fine with me. Look at the hangman. Yeah, so that's the Oriental Tarot by Giordano Berti. Isn't that a nice size tarot? Nice cardstock. So that one is my Pippi deck. What deck slaps you with the truth? My Roots of Asia, Tarot Roots of Asia deck. Well, I have a Buddhist background. I studied Buddhism for nearly 20 years. So of course, this would be another deck you have to bury me with. Took me ages to find an English copy of this deck. And when I did, it's probably my most expensive deck as well, because I bought it from England. And even though in England things don't sound expensive, but when you convert them to Australian dollars and then add the postage, this would have to be my most expensive deck I own. And even though it's not astronomical, but it is very expensive. It's out of print, sadly it's out of print, but it's holds a special place in my heart, and it just gives me my Buddhist teachings vibes. And this is another one that's never leaving my shelf. It can be buried with me as well. It's very Pippi too. Look at the Queen. And it's just very, very, very special deck. So that's the Roots of Asia Tarot, or Tarot of the Roots of Asia. Okay. What's the deck that got away? Well, that's the Greenwood. I've been using tarot since the early 80s. I had one deck for nearly 10 years, which my sister gave me. Was a TDM deck, Spanish tarot. Then I bought, which I found very difficult to read. Then I bought the Conway Rider-Waite-Smith in the 90s. And then I bought Osho-Zen Tarot. And then I stopped buying any tarot until 2017. So I missed out on the Greenwood. And by the time I wanted to collect the Greenwood, it was way out of my price range. I wasn't going to pay that much for a tarot deck. It fluctuates a lot on eBay, but I'm still not going to pay the prices that are advertised for the Greenwood Tarot. And they keep talking about publishing again, but there's a dispute between the creator and the artist on the Greenwood, so I don't think I'll ever get an indie copy of the Greenwood. I can get a copy made up on Make Playing Cards. Chelsea's put the file to Make Playing Cards, I think, but not the same. Not the same. I want the real McCoy from the late 90s. I think Greenwood was 1996. My memory fails me. Anyway, God bless everyone. Hope you enjoyed this. It went for too long. Have a good day. Bye-bye.